His knee was down.
I don't like that a title can be won this way.
The winner by disqualification and new.
Today we received the news that Aljamain Sterling is going to be out for a period of 3 months because he's going to have neck surgery.
For the winner by split decision, Aljamain Sterling.
It seems like a significant amount of MMA fans maybe want to see Aljamain lose against Sean O'Malley. Like, what is it about Sean O'Malley that people really are getting behind it? Is it the significant win over Jan in the way that he did it? Is it the personality? Is it the sort of style that he's bringing to MMA that actually we want to see that guy as the champion? Why aren't people sort of giving Aljamain the respect that maybe he has deserved?
I think the scale is actually more shifted from people wanting to see Aljo lose rather than O'Malley win. It's probably like a 70-30. I think O'Malley has a really interesting style that I personally love. He puts on really exciting performances. Obviously, predominantly a striker. He tries to finish on the feet, whether it be with kicks or punches. It's always exciting, and you hope there's going to be a knockout when O'Malley fights. But with Aljo, I think it comes down to the fact that how he first won the belt by the first ever champion to win by DQ, and then took a whole year out after his Oscar-winning performance, which I think is still bollocks because you need someone in the head. That's the rules. Came back, beat Jan in a really kind of demoralizing way, and then fights Dillashaw, who has one arm, shouldn't have been in the cage, and then fights Henry Cejudo after a 3-year layoff where he doesn't look the same as he did.
Do you think Henry Cejudo came back, and do you think the UFC brought him back, immediately put him in the title fight, hoping that he would win?
Yes, which is weird because they were treating Cejudo like he's this really big name and he's like this superstar, whereas when he was that, I don't feel like the UFC treated him like he was a big superstar, and they were trying to build Cejudo up like he was that coming back. And I feel like a lot of people also felt that Cejudo was just like jumping his way in too easily. It was like they thought this guy could beat Aljo, so let's put him in a title fight straight away, when a lot of fighters and a lot of fans felt like he should earn a title shot because he's been away for so long.
It was kind of a massive period of divisional instability, really, because you had TJ finally sort of have some kind of dominance, and then obviously he popped, right? He leaves the division, and then since then it was kind of in a state of flux.
And then
really.
Henry came up, beat Moraes for the bantamweight belt, and then wanted to go up to fight Volkanovski for the featherweight, but then just retired. For all of this, I'm going to save the flyweight division. He did just abandon the flyweight division.
But yeah, I think another problem as well on Aljo's side is that he won't fight Merab. That's another reason why I think Dana doesn't like him. Maybe he's like, he finds him as a champ a bit less favourable.
But Merab doesn't want to fight him either, though. It's like, it goes both ways. It's not like Merab's just like, fuck it, yeah, I'll fight it.
Yeah.
And Aljo's like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, but for Dana that doesn't help, does it? Because his job is to make contenders. It's like, I've got this guy who's beating everybody, but he can't fight the champion. So it's just like,
what do you do with him? Yeah.
What do you do?
It's been alluded to a lot that if Aljamain wins or loses this one, he's going to 145. So I think he's just like buying enough time until he's gone, essentially.
In regards to his popularity, do you feel like Aljamain Sterling needs to have an absolute firefight, an absolute war to win people over? Say if he does squeeze past Sean and it's a fucking fight to the death, 5 rounds, both guys are cut up, bloody, battered, almost like Israel Adesanya, I'm prepared to die against Kelvin Gastelum. Do you think that will win people over?
I mean, there's definitely this whole idea that he hasn't had that much adversity. You know, if you win the belt by DQ, then where's the adversity in that? There is adversity because you were losing, but you didn't overcome anything. Obviously, the rematch is great, but then there are still people who are still bitter about the first one. The Cejudo fight was close, but it wasn't like a war, was it? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how you promote yourself or how much you talk, it is always on your performance. The story of that performance, and then the narrative coming out of that, and then that is your narrative until your next fight. Like, it's always how it works.
Does like Aljamain Sterling need to go, okay, I'm a dominant champion, people still don't really like me, maybe I need to go out of my comfort zone to do something crazy? She doesn't have a moment where people sit back in their chairs and go, holy shit, I will remember that until I die.
He doesn't have any power, I feel like. That's the reason that's not really happened. He lands on the feet and he's outstruck people, but he's not like really...
Well, he needs a fucking Demetrius Johnson German suplex into an armbar. That's what he needs.
One of Aljo's best wins was the Sanhagen rear naked choke in like a minute.
True.
That was like, doing that against the person he did is really impressive.
Yeah, and that's because of the speed that he did it, right?
Like if he went out there and did a Rose Namajunas fucking flying arm armbar. I mean, if he did something like that against Sean O'Malley.
Exactly. There is all probability that he might go and do that.
Just sits on him.
Just literally like.
I guess the question is, what the fuck can he do to make himself more popular amongst everyone?
It's hard for me because I do kind of like him.
Do you get excited for a Aljamain fight?
Well, I get excited for an Aljamain fight because the division's exciting, partly because of that. Right?
Yeah, so does that mean you want to see someone beat him?
When Dana White comes on fucking YouTube and got a big Dana White announcement, it's like Aljamain Sterling is fighting, and you go, fucking couldn't wait for this. I go to sleep every night hoping they announce an Aljamain Sterling.
Okay, well, I don't feel like that about anybody for a start. So that's not really, except Mike Perry, obviously.
Yeah.
You're not joking, though.
I think.
He's not
joking.
I really like Aljo's style. That's the thing. He's such a unique guy, and I like anyone who's got a really good creative kicking game. I just feel like he doesn't have as much power on the feet. He's not threatening on the feet, so you don't have that element of the fight could end at any moment. With Aljo, it's like an accumulation. He starts to drown people and wear on people, which is good though, because that does work for some people. It works for guys like Nate. But I guess he just doesn't have that from the bell rings. Holy shit, at any moment the fight could be over.
I feel like there's a bunch of people in 135 though who use that volume approach that do get finishes that are way more exciting. Like O'Malley is that. Like I know he has one punch power, but he touches you up to make those reads to then get that shot that will put you out. Like Sandhagen does it. TJ does it to a degree as well.
I mean, even you go back further to like fucking Cody Garber and just like throwing a Sun Sal knockout was just like, what the fuck, bro?
It's just from the hip.
Fucking crazy.
It was like an overhand, but it was a hook. It was weird.
Just sat there like.
Aljo's fucking up this whole press conference tonight. I don't know what Aljo's doing. Do you want me to explain what's going on in the mind of fucking Aljo? Aljo's one of those guys who just can't get out of his own way.
No, let me tell you something fun. People say it tastes like bananas. That's part of the branding.
It does.
It does taste like bananas.
Yeah.
But that isn't something they added into it. So banana is a taste that occurs sort of naturally within the like fermenting process of whiskey. All they've done during the fermentation process is kind of lean more in to what makes that banana taste come out and then extrapolate it. The banana flavor is already there. We've just lent more into it.
Do you know what I did with it the other day? Actually, I had it on. I had it with pancakes.
Oh,
you actually did it?
Whipped it in with the egg.
One of those Howler Head girls recommended that to you, did they?
No, that was me. That was
So I actually took you up on that. Had it in pancakes. Actually, really, really good.
Yeah.
If you want to get yourself some Howler Head, you can do so at larger Tesco stores all around the country. It's in the UK now, or you can go on Amazon, or you can go on this website that has lots of booze. It's called Master of Malt. I'm a master of drinking alcohol. I've been practicing for 13 years.
Responsibly.
Dana, get out of here with that. Nah. I've done everything the UFC has asked me to do. Everything. Beat Piotr Jan, former champion. Beat TJ Dillashaw, former champion. And then you got Henry Cejudo, the greatest combat athlete of all time, self-proclaimed. I beat this guy also with a partially torn bicep tendon.
Should we have a look at his career real quick and just run through them?
Like his best finish was him getting finished by Moraes. Yeah. Like everyone loves that kick because it wasn't meant to happen, but it did.
True.
The Cejudo fight was a split, obviously. Dillashaw was a TKO because he was just pounding him, but it's like
just beat him up on the ground for minutes.
Jan win was a split. Then it was the illegal knee DQ. Then it was the fantastic rear naked choke, Corey Sandhagen. That got him a title fight. Amazing performance. Before that, it was decision Pedro Munoz, decision Jimmy Rivera. Then he Suloev stretched Cody Stamann, which was fantastic again, but it happened on the same night as Zabit. Zabit did it. And then it was decision Brett Johns, who was the Welshman, I think he was undefeated. And then he got knocked out by Marlon. And then it was decision Barral, decision Augusto Mendez, then 2 split decision losses. So yeah, and then his last submission before that was a guillotine of Johnny Eduardo in 2015. So
he's absolutely grinded life.
I mean, if there was a guy who fucking deserves to be champion, it's Aljamain Sterling. With a career like that, it's the severe downs to reach like the pinnacle which he's at now.
His only losses are the 2 split decisions and then the knockout, which was kind of like a flash knockout. Maybe people don't actually hate Aljamain Sterling.
I think they do. Maybe it's not that they hate him, it's just they don't care. Is he the main event of the next pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Who's the co-main of that pay-per-view?
Jean OMalley versus Lemos.
Like, are you going to pay $70 to watch Aljamain Sterling?
If I was a rich man, yes.
Yeah. Like, if I go to you right now, get your wallets out, put down $70.
I'm trying to save money at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're a US fan paying that money, are you paying that money to watch Aljamain Sterling fight?
You're also forgetting the other side of the coin is Sean. Do you pay that money to see Sean finally get a title shot? Yeah. I think more people might be interested in actually seeing that.
And that's the thing. People are more interested in Sean than they are the champion.
Yeah, I would probably say yeah.
He's got bright hair. He's got face tats. He looks like a rapper.
There's some people he looks like an idiot. I'm just saying.
Younger people,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
love that stuff.
they do,
like they
yeah.
love a guy that goes in there who's like himself through and through, and then he fights. Like he fights a lot better than you might think he does looking at him. I don't know. I think there's something intrinsically attractive about him, and I think we keep saying is that his performance is so good. He's one of the only people that really sticks out.
Yeah, I think Aljo's just the old guard as well. He represents an era of the sport where those fans are a lot older now. Nobody really remembers that what he did to build himself up within the division. That Suloev stretch, oh my God, amazing. 2015, nearly 10 years ago. So I understand why some people don't even sort of connect with the idea of why he's such a special guy. But I think his longevity is part of the reason he is special, because he has been in that division for so long, almost longer than anybody else.
Do you know what helps this content? Is all of our members who get to see the unedited version of this.
Yeah.
Which is actually proving to be quite a bloody hitter, isn't it, lads?
Yeah, everyone's signing up.
Yeah.
All the boys.
We comment as well.
Oh yeah, if you want to ask like three of us or tell us like how bad our takes are or anything like that. Yeah, I said Chandler knocking out Tony was a fluke, and I sparked a whole heated debate in the comments.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can come argue with me if you want. I'll be there.
If we want t-shirts, I can get us t-shirts though.
Oh really?
Like
What, out
I
the
have
boot
a
of your
hookup.
car?
No, I have a hookup. I have a hookup at GB Top Team, and then they'll ship them anywhere. We just need to go.
Sounds dodgy.